Diamond Go-Sti is a full-blooded Cherokee from the reservations of North Carolina. He has participated in the Miccosukee Indian Arts and Crafts Festival since I was this big. Diamond devotes his life traveling around the country, sharing his knowledge and educating people about the history of his culture.
My name is Diamond Go-Sti. In my language, we would say Shio, Oshunalain, Ski Ogito. I am Cherokee from North Carolina. I belong to the Eastern Band. Within that, we had the Trail of Tears during the removal, and we have a Western Band, which is in Oklahoma. But my people, we hid out in the mountains of the Smoky Mountains. And by hiding out in the Smoky Mountains, of course, the soldiers weren't able to capture my people during that removal when they gathered everybody and put them in Oklahoma. The Western Band in Oklahoma that did get captured, the Cherokees, they're among many different other different nations of Native people. I prefer saying nation instead of tribe. Within that, though, saying tribe, nation, to me, when I say tribe is more of a, I guess, belittles a nation of people. And I like using the word nation due to the fact that we are a nation of people. We do have our own government, we do have our own language, and we do have our own culture. It is a myth that in the Smoky Mountains, where the Cherokees had gone and hid in those mountains, that smoke is from the campfires from the natives that stayed in the mountains. Because there was a point in time that when the Cherokees could come out from hiding from those mountains, but a lot of them still were skeptical and they stayed hid in the mountains. Some never even came out. So that's the myth that my people believe, is that those mountains, that the smoke is still coming from those campfires of the natives that still hid in the mountains. But within that, though, growing up there in a place called Snowbird, we would say 2T. 2T means snowbird. Growing up there, it's a very, very, I will say, very remote, isolated area. That's where I come from. And of course, coming from that area, we are known to have the highest percentage of full-bloods that are from Snowbird, because we're so way off, way back into the mountains, to the point of where being back in the mountains, we were kind of like just kind of forgotten, hid, so to speak. Of course, we have the most fluent language, Cherokee language speakers. A way to look at it is we were forced to take our ceremonies and our culture, we were forced to take it underground. Now, I'm not saying physically underground, but mentally underground. And by taking our culture underground in order to keep it alive. So when we have ceremony, it's always, we don't tell, but we tell among our own that we are having ceremony. And so we pass this on to our children and to our children's children. And that's where my knowledge comes from. By growing up there in Snowbird, hanging on to this culture, what we have is people, elderly people, that share this culture and the ways of our people, the traditions of our people. I'd have seen, though, in today's time, that we have people that will come out and pretend to be something they're not. And I find that in my heart, I find that's not right. You know, the Creator, God, Great Spirit, the Father, He's the Father up above. Within that, all of that are blended into one. The Creator, He created us all. And by creating us all, we should be proud of whatever ethnic, whatever race that we are. We as humans, we find so many times that people want to be something that they're not. And to me, that's sad that you can't be content in who we are. I see things different than a lot of people do. You know, growing up in two worlds, you know, growing up on the reservation, being in balance with nature, you know, being in balance with the earth, being in balance. And what I mean by that is, by being in balance, is that we look at the creation that the Creator created in nature, that we are not above, we are not below, we are equal. And by being in balance with the fish people, with the tree people, the plant people, the worm people, the bird people, the squirrel people, you know, and by adding that word people keeps us intact to know that by being and referring to them as people, we're supposed to respect people. It's about respecting all living things.